This is Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports, it's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports, time to change your approach with Aaron Halterman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dudes Who Bet Sports Show. We got a busy one today, Papa Dude. We got to get this done in an hour because Magic Mike coming on right after us. Are you ready?
Well, it's going to be a challenge to get it done in an hour. Well, so I guess we're going to have to quit the chit chat and maybe limit the questions at the end of the show. And that's probably going to get everybody to turn it off. So
no, it means we have to rush through the picks.
Okay.
Still have time for the questions at the end.
It's a week where we don't have a lot of college action.
Yeah.
Compared to usual. So maybe we can get through them real fast.
I think we can. We're going to talk about only 12 games involving ranked teams this weekend in college football. I'll go ahead and pull it up first. We'll get to that, and we'll get this thing kicked off. And why did somebody change my background? Damn it. Hold on. Let me get the background up here. That's the wrong background. There we go. I wanted Oregon in the background. Okay. Let's kick it off. Let's just go right to it. Like I said, we got a busy show today and got to get through in an hour. All right, let's kick it off with your favorite team, Papa Dude, Iowa. They go on the road to take on Ohio State. Ohio State, number 2 in the country. Ohio State, a 30-point favorite in this game. I know Ohio State's winning. Are they going to beat them by 30 is the question.
Look at the over-under. It's 49.5.
Yep.
On the over-under, which is telling us that they don't think Iowa's going to score any points, which I believe that's true. So 30 points. How can Iowa keep it in closer than that with no offense?
I don't know.
I don't think they can. I mean, I guess they might play them 31-7, maybe something to that effect. I can't see it. I think they cover. I think they beat them like, I don't know, 42-7, something like that.
It's hard to imagine the speed difference you're going to see in this game. Ohio State has plenty of it. Iowa, I don't think so. I think the only way Iowa covers this is if there's a lot of mistakes made by Ohio State.
Yeah, it happened, but I don't think so.
Iowa has a great defense, but not against these guys. They won't. No. I think they'll be able to just run all over them, run up and down the field on them.
I agree.
Yeah, Jason says 52-0 next. That very well could be the final score. All right, let's go to the next one. And speaking of 52-0, that could happen here. Tennessee, 1 week after taking on and defeating Alabama, now has to play UT Martin. UT Martin, an FCS school. They are ranked number 14 in the FCS poll, so it is a decent lower division school. I mean, you would have to expect Tennessee's going to not play quite as well, but there's really no danger here, right?
Well, there's no line on it or anything. There's no way Tennessee's going to play good. They just can't. They can't get back up for this. Very good scheduling. Who knows what the score is? Look at that ticket price, $24.
Yeah, you had to pay about $300-400 to get in last week, and now $24 this week.
I don't believe
to see UT Martin.
I just don't believe that. I don't think there's a ticket that cheap. So
I would think there is 100,000 seats, and UT Martin's coming to town. I would think so.
I don't know.
Let's move on. Syracuse and Clemson, a battle of the undefeateds. We're going to go to Clemson for this one. Syracuse, number 14, Clemson, number 5. The Tigers are 13.5-point favorites in here. I don't think anybody is really thinking upset with Syracuse outright, but what about the points? What do you think?
This is a toughie. This Syracuse team is tough. You know, they're pretty well coached. Their defense is good. They haven't really played a great team. They got North Carolina State when North Carolina State was wounded. 13.5 seems a bit low to me because I could see Clemson shutting them down, pulling away late, and winning by 21 or so. So if I was going to bet this, I think I would take Clemson to cover that.
Yeah, I think Clemson's going to cover here. I don't think Syracuse poses much of a threat in this game. We've seen Syracuse. They've played some decent teams, but they haven't really played a really good team.
Right.
Now they get one. Syracuse, the only thing is they're not an explosive offense. So maybe, Clemson's not an explosive offense. Maybe Syracuse can hold them down. a bit on that end of the day, though. I don't see Syracuse score many points. Do you?
No, but I think it'll be a smash mouth type of game. Syracuse is better than we're giving them credit for, probably, but I don't think they have a quarterback that can go in there and beat Clemson. And Clemson will eventually wear them down, get some field position. I think they'll score some easy touchdowns late in the game. Probably looking, 31-7, something like that.
That's probably, yeah. And speaking, Jason says, don't forget, or don't doubt the Fighting Rickies. I actually talked to Ricky about this game last night, and he thought the same thing, 31-10, 31-14, something like that for Clemson. So we'll see if that holds up. All right, we'll go on now. Cincinnati, still undefeated, or still in the rankings, I should say, won 5 in a row. They're 5-1. That only loss was the opening week of the season against Arkansas. They go on the road to take on SMU, a team that has not been very good this year. Only 3.5-point favorite for Cincinnati. Are they on upset alert this week?
Well, this is a dangerous game. Since SMU played well last week. I can't remember who they beat. They thumped them, whoever it was. Who was it? It was a decent team. Oh, it was Navy. It was Navy, too. So it wasn't that great. This is one of the games I've got circled. I think Cincinnati, if they play well, don't turn it over. I think they beat them worse than that. I think that line's a little low.
I do too. I think Cincinnati will get the job done here. I think they might be looking at that game in South Florida last week and like, well, maybe Cincinnati isn't quite as good as what we thought. They didn't play well, but they did win 28-24. South Florida's a weird team. They've played some teams close this year, and Cincinnati was one of them that they played close last week. They went to Florida and they almost won too. So bad record for South Florida, but they've had a tendency to play teams close. I don't think that continues. I think Cincinnati gets the job done in this one. All right, let's move on to the 2:30 game here. Ole Miss on the road against LSU. Ole Miss is getting no attention whatsoever, even though they're 7-0. And guess what? Vegas doesn't love them either because LSU at 5-2 and unranked, a 2.5-point favorite in this game.
Yeah, you talk about a lack of respect. A 7-0 team in the SEC goes to LSU, which 2 weeks ago got whacked at home by Tennessee. And it wasn't close. What was it, like 40-13, something in that ballpark? And they're favored by 2.5 over an Ole Miss team that may not be as good as Tennessee. I'll give you that. I'd like the Rebels. We're going to find out if they're for real. Once again, they get lucky. It's not a night game. It's a day game. The Tennessee game was at 11, which I think I heard somewhere was only the 10th time ever that LSU has played a home game at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
I don't ever remember it. Do you? Maybe one. I think they played Florida a couple of years, maybe last year at 11 o'clock in the morning. Seemed to me like they did because we were driving to OU listening to that game because I had picked LSU to beat Florida in that game. May have been then. But anyway, I think I'm going to go with Ole Miss in this game. I think they're going to beat them. I think LSU's not quite there.
It is a little bit of a fishy line, as Jason points out. I'm with you, though. I think Ole Miss will beat them, and it's more for me is I don't think LSU is quite no. So I'm going to go against LSU here. I'm going with Ole Miss as well. I think they're going to get the job done in this spot for sure. All right, 2:30 game again. UCLA and Oregon. This is the college game day game of the week. They'll be there. UCLA, of course, 6-0 on a roll, but Oregon 5-1. That first loss to Georgia to open up the season was a bad one. After that, we saw Oregon look really, really good 5 straight weeks. Now they're hosting UCLA. Is the party over for the Bruins?
This is a tough place to go play when you're undefeated. This should be a shootout, don't you think? I think this will be a really good game to watch. No one has stopped UCLA. They've gone up and down the field on just about everybody. I think Oregon's defense is a little better than UCLA has faced. 6 points, I tell you what, them hanging 42 on Utah, UCLA doing that, really impressed me. I think the game's at home. It may be closer than 6, but I think Oregon's going to win.
I think Oregon's going to win this game as well, and I'm going to take a minus the 6. I think UCLA, I think they might be living on borrowed time a little bit when it comes to this game. I just kind of look at it and I say, okay, is UCLA really a top 10, 7, 8, 9-0 type of team? No, I think eventually they get beat. I think it's here. I think it's close. But in the end, I do think Oregon's going to cover. So I do think Oregon wins maybe like a 41-31 type of game. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Over under at 72. You said it. You think it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be right around that number, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think both teams put points up. Oregon's defense worries me a little bit about the over-under because their defense is decent. So Kevin's right. Feels like they're begging us to take UCLA.
Yeah.
I think Oregon's better than they are. Overall, I don't think UCLA is quite ready for prime time.
And Jason said it, and Kevin was kind of alluding to it. It's a fun game to watch, maybe not bet because
you can find better.
Yeah, you can find better ones. But as far as watching, you may not find a better one. It's going to be a very fun game to watch. Yeah.
All right, it's interesting. A Pac-12 game in the afternoon is kind of unusual. We don't see a lot of big-time Pac-12 games at 2:30.
Yeah, this is not basically. This will be a 12:30 kickoff in their time zone, and you're right. You don't see it very often. I thought this would be a 7:00 game for us, for sure. But no, a featured game, and I guess those ranked opponents, they want them on when people can see them. So, I guess that was the thought process there. All right, Texas on the road to take on Oklahoma State this weekend. Texas coming off a couple straight wins there, beating Oklahoma 2 weekends ago, and then beating Iowa State last week. Now Oklahoma State, they're coming off a loss. TCU beat them. They blew the game completely. Texas is a 6.5 point favorite in this one. Now you may say, well, that's crazy. Well, there's some speculation on Spencer Sanders, the Oklahoma State quarterback. How healthy is he? Last week, there were strong rumors that Gunnar Gundy, the son of Coach Mike Gundy, was going to start at quarterback against TCU. That did not happen. But there's rumors this weekend that it's going to happen again. Yeah. Spencer Sanders is not practicing. What do you think about this one?
Well, I think Spencer Sanders played well last week, didn't he? Or good enough.
He played good enough to win for sure. Yeah, I don't think he played quite as good as he'd been playing, but he did play, and they did score enough points to win for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they had 30 in regulation. They ended up with 40. And he played the whole game, right? And now suddenly he can't play this game.
Right.
Doesn't make any sense. And we know how Mike Gundy operates. We're not going to know till the game starts, right?
Right.
We're going to have to address this.
We'll address Manny's,
for people that didn't watch the Daily Show. Anyway, I can't bet it because I don't know if he's going to play. And how are you going to know? You're not going to know game time.
Yeah.
I think Oklahoma State wins the game if he plays. I'll be surprised if they don't.
Martin chimes in and says, OSU at home, give me the money line all day. And I'm with you. I think if Spencer Sanders plays, he's 100. They're 100% going to win.
They beat him. They beat him all the time. Texas doesn't Oklahoma State.
No, I like Oklahoma State a lot in this game. And Kevin's right. It's another game. This just feels like a gift to take Oklahoma State plus the 6.5, whether you think they're going to win or not. Plus the 6.5 at home. That feels like they're just giving you money. That is when it gets a little scary. So we'll see. But I'm with you. I think Oklahoma State covers this game, no problem.
Here's the thing, too, Aaron. It's funny. When this thing opened on Sunday, I looked. Oklahoma State was 4.5 point favorite.
Yeah.
So Vegas doesn't think Sanders is going to play.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of that Oklahoma-Texas game when Vegas thought Gabriel was going to play, and he didn't. So I think Sanders plays. I don't know why he wouldn't.
Well, it's interesting that, again, it's like everybody said he was not going to play last week, and he did. And now everybody says he's not going to play this week. Well, not everybody, but that's the speculation. I'm with you. Like, I don't know why he wouldn't. He played the whole game. He wasn't great, but they were effective enough. They scored a ton of points.
Unless he got hurt late in the game. That's possible.
No, I mean, I don't think he really did. So I don't know. It's a weird
I think he plays.
It's a weird one.
Yeah.
But OSU gets no respect. They're dogs again.
Yeah.
Last week we were talking about why are they 3.5-point underdogs in this game? Well, it turns out you needed all 3.5 of those points. They barely covered it. They lost 43-40. So
they should have won the game.
Well, yes, they absolutely should have won the game. All right, move on. Boston College goes on the road to take on Wake Forest. Wake Forest, a 20.5-point favorite. Let's see if Wake Forest, coming off the bye, can continue to just kind of look like a really, really good team. What do you think? Can they cover this one?
That's a lot of points. Boston College plays tough. Staying away from it. I think they cover it, though. I think Wake Forest is pretty good.
I think Wake Forest is, and you may really laugh at this, I think they're the best team in the ACC. I just don't think they are.
Right.
They should have beaten Clemson. They outplayed them. They should have beat them, and they didn't. I think they'll dominate this game. I think they'll win easy. And I
would say this: I bet Clemson's glad they're in the same division as Wake Forest, and they don't have to play them in an ACC championship game. That's for
absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
I think Wake Forest is going to go 11-1. I just think they're really good. They got a great quarterback, good receivers. Their defense isn't awful, so I like Wake Forest in this game.
Yeah, I do too. And let's real quick here. I don't think their schedule's that tough. They've got Boston College. They got to go to Louisville. The North Carolina State game's not going to be as tough as it would have been because the quarterback's out. They still have North Carolina, but that's at Wake.
Yep.
They got Syracuse at Wake, and they go to Duke. So that's not that daunting a schedule for a quarterback as good as what they've got.
Yep, I think they go 11-1, and they're gonna hate themselves for losing that Clemson game. They could have beat them for sure. Yeah. Just didn't get it done. All right, let's move on. Memphis goes to Tulane. I was happy to see Tulane ranked. They're 25 in the country at 6-1. They take on a Memphis team that's really just lost a couple of heartbreakers. Tulane, a 7-point favorite in this game. This is a tricky one to me. What did you think?
I agree totally. Their first time they've been ranked. They got pressure on them now. Memphis is pretty good. This is a sneaky game for the Green Wave. If I had a lot of money and I wanted to put something on somebody, I think I'd take Memphis in this one. Maybe not to win, but I think +7. I think this can be close. I'm worried for the Green Wave in this one.
Yeah, I am too. I think Memphis +7 is the play here. They're a lot better than that record indicates. They have absolutely blown a couple of games that they could have won. Tulane is not an explosive team. They're a good team. They got a really good defense. They could make it hard on Memphis, but I think I think the Memphis Tigers will keep it closer. So Memphis +7. I'm with you. They might pull this one out. But I think it'll be a close game. So, All right, let's go on to this one. Mississippi State coming in here and ranked number 24 still, even after a loss at 5-2. They go to Alabama this weekend. Alabama 6-1, going to try to rebound from the loss at Tennessee last weekend. What do you think? Alabama is a 21-point favorite. That is a lot of points.
It's a lot of points. Mississippi State down deep doesn't think they can beat them. That's the deal. A lot of people say, well, Alabama's going to be flat. Those great teams like that are teams like Alabama. They get ready. They get back the next game. And they've still got a legitimate shot at the playoffs. They went out. They're going to be in probably. I don't see how they could keep them out if they went out because that means they're going to have to beat Georgia probably. Mm-hmm. So 21, and Mississippi State lost last week. This could be a rout, I think. Are you feeling that way?
Yeah, yes, I do. I feel like you said, sometimes Alabama and teams like Alabama, and when OU used to be good, they'd get beat, and you'd be like, oh, they're down, and then they'd come out and win like 55-9 next game. Mississippi State coming off a loss. I think if Alabama would have won the game, this would have been a closer one. But since Alabama lost, I think they come out, try to prove something. I do think their defense will give up a few points here, but I think Bryce Young in this offense for Alabama kind of rolls. So I'm going to take the Tide.
Me too. And I have a feeling Alabama's worked real hard this week on no false starts, no delay of games. I have a feeling that's been a point of emphasis this week in Tuscaloosa.
Well, I totally agree. I would definitely think
Yeah.
I'm sure the practices have been spirited. Let's put it
Yeah,
that way.
that's one way to put it.
Yeah. All right, let's keep her going. To only two more. This is a weird college football week.
Really is.
Real light. Not the games we've got I think are good, but
We're good. Yeah.
we got a lot of teams on buys. That's what it's all about. So, all right, though. Minnesota goes to Penn State. Penn State trying to bounce back, and so is Minnesota. They've lost 2 in a row. Penn State got murdered at Michigan. Penn State, a 4-point favorite here at home. This is another tricky one. Where do you think you're going here?
Well, they're both coming off losses, like you said. Penn State got embarrassed a little bit. I mean, Michigan's good, but still, they thought they would play a game closer. Minnesota got beat at Illinois. I don't think Minnesota's very good. I think that line's too low. I think Penn State wins by 10 or 12.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I think with Minnesota, it's just kind of like the bubbles burst, I guess, is the easiest way to put it. I was trying to think of a more elegant way, but really there's not. They get like after the first 4 games, like, oh, they've got this. Like they look good. Like they've got a shot here. And then the losses they've had have been kind of a joke, right?
Yeah.
It feels like, you kind of lost it, and I don't think you're coming back from it type of thing.
Right.
I don't think Penn State's great, though, but I think they're better than Minnesota.
They're at home. That's going to be a tough match for Minnesota.
Yeah.
I think Penn State's about where they are, 16, 17, 18, in that range. Decent, good, not great.
Yep. All right, let's keep on going on here, and let's go to the last one on the card, a 7 p.m. game. This is going to be a very interesting game. Kansas State goes on the road to take on TCU, a huge game in the Big 12. Both teams are 3-0. Kansas State are 3-0 in the Big 12, I should say. Kansas State 5-1. They lost to Tulane. TCU undefeated. TCU a 3.5-point favorite. I think people are like, for lack of a better term, waiting for TCU to lose. Is this the week TCU loses?
Well, I think if the game was at K-State would be a 3.5-point favorite. So I think you throw that out. It's basically because the game's in Fort Worth.
Yep.
And not in Manhattan. We've seen them both, one in person and one on TV. I think Kansas State is definitely equal to TCU. We saw TCU without our quarterback, and we saw K-State with our quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
We are a much better team when our quarterback plays, and Kansas State had us down 14 in Norman late in the fourth quarter. I give them a big chance to win this. The key's going to be, can they limit big plays from TCU? Can they make TCU drive the ball? I don't think TCU is real good defensively, but I think they are offensively. So this is a pure toss-up to me. I am not going to bet this game because I don't know how this will go. I really don't. This will be if you like the Big 12, this will be a very interesting game to watch in a week when we don't have a lot of night games that are real attractive. So I just can't bet this one because I'm torn. I don't know how this is going to go. I really don't. I won't be surprised either way.
The conference this year, the Big 12 conference this year, is really tough to predict. It's wild. The teams are very, very evenly matched. And that makes for some weird games. Like you think of West Virginia Baylor last week is one that really comes to mind. Thursday game, and we thought, well, Baylor will go in there and beat them. West Virginia beat them. Then we thought, Oklahoma State will beat TCU. TCU beat them. We kind of thought Kansas might beat Oklahoma. So you think about Texas and Iowa State last week. If not for a missed call, Iowa State may have beat them. So
definitely,
it's very evenly matched. I tend to lean towards taking Kansas State plus the 3.5, just for the fact that I think it's going to be a damn close game.
I do
think it's going to be close. I'm going to take the team that's getting the points, right?
Yeah, but there's better to bet.
Yeah, I think this falls in line with the Oregon game, the Oregon UCLA game. Might just be better to watch this one.
Oh, I think so. I just because I don't. 1 minute I think Kansas State, but I can't make enough reasons why they're going to win.
I think here's my reason why I think they've got a shot.
Well,
I think TCU is offensively really good.
They are.
But I think Kansas State can control the clock, right? And control the ball.
Yeah.
If they control the ball, keep that TCU team off the field, K-State will at least cover the game. That's going to be the key. If K-State's not getting a lot of first downs, they're having trouble moving it, it could snowball on them.
Yeah. So
we've seen K-State. They need to play ahead. They need to be ahead. So, or at least the game be tight so they can run their normal offense. So that's going to be the key if they can keep it to that kind of game.
I agree.
All right. Do you have any other college games?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Go ahead and
I had to dig deep into the schedule this week to find some hidden gems in there in some of these lesser games. Let's go to the Big 12 or the Big 10.
Okay.
Northwestern is not very good, right?
Yeah, I would agree. Yep.
They go to Maryland, who's better than we think, or better than we thought they were going to be. And Maryland's only a 14-point favorite at home. I could see Maryland really coming out and snowballing Northwestern. It's just how much do you trust a Maryland team? That's basically it. 14 is not that much to cover against a Northwestern team that's not very good. Now, there's better ones, but that's one that I saw that I think is interesting. How about this one? Purdue, who might be the best team in the Big 10, what is that? The West? No, I guess whatever it is a 2.5-point underdog at a struggling Wisconsin. I've got to take Purdue in this game. I think Purdue's better than Wisconsin.
I picked Purdue to win that game outright. Yeah.
Yeah, I just was a little bit surprised. I think Wisconsin's living off their reputation here just a little bit. Purdue's quarterback is very good, and they can score. And if they can stay away from turnovers, I think they win that game.
Yep.
So I like that one a lot. Let's go to the SEC in a dog game. But I think this could get away too.
Okay.
And again, remember, I'm digging deep here. Vanderbilt goes to Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Vanderbilt is a typical Vanderbilt, and they're getting worn down as they do as the season goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Missouri could have beat Georgia, could have beat Auburn, could have beat Florida. The key is could have.
Right.
The other key is they didn't.
Right.
But if they're ready to play, they're 14-point favorites. They could blow them out, I think, if they're ready to play, and that's the big thing.
When you look at Missouri, they've had a tough fate, right? They had Auburn game 1. They could have beaten Georgia, and they only lost 7 to Florida. They should, if you're basing it on scores and how they've looked,
yes,
they should kill Vanderbilt.
That's what I'm saying. This could be a game where they take out all their frustrations. And
it should be a game where they do that. Yes.
That's right. And it could snowball.
Yeah.
Now, Vanderbilt could say, how the hell with it. You know, the key's going to be, does Missouri get out and score a couple touchdowns early, and then it gets away from Vanderbilt?
Yeah.
The line's not that big. 14 is not that big because they're 14 points better than them, and this game could get away from Vanderbilt. So I like that one quite a bit. Here's an interesting one. BYU,
okay,
who is vastly overrated and is one of the disappointing teams of the year. They have played a tough schedule. I have to give them that. Goes all the way to play Liberty, at Liberty. And they're a 7-point favorite, BYU is. This is a pretty good Liberty team. And you know this is a big game for Liberty. And I would have to think BYU is questioning themselves a little bit. Their defense is not very good. I think Liberty could win this game outright.
I think Liberty should win the game outright. They're 6-1. Their only loss was to Wake Forest on the road, who we've talked about. Really good team. They did only beat Gardner-Webb 21-20 last week. I don't know what happened in that game.
I'm looking ahead.
Yeah, it could have been a little bit.
Probably why BYU is a 7-point favorite.
BYU, they got to be a little bit beat down. Back-to-back weeks, they just got kind of hammered in games they could have, should have been more competitive in. So I like Liberty in that game as well.
Yeah, I just think BYU is, like you said, beat down a little bit.
Yep.
In the Mountain West, interesting one. I got 3 more.
Okay.
Boise State, which is playing better, goes to Air Force.
Okay.
Which is and Air Force is a 3-point favorite. Air Force is not playing near as well as they were early in the year. They're not scoring. The key will be Boise State's quarterback is very erratic. I think they win this game. I think they beat Air Force.
I'm staying away from it. I do agree that Air Force hasn't been playing that great. I don't know that I can trust Boise for the first time in a long, long time. I don't hate your pick. I'm going to stay away from it. That's one I'll just watch.
All right. Big game in the MAC. So I am digging deep here.
Said no one ever, but go on.
Toledo,
yeah,
arguably the best team in the MAC, goes to Buffalo, and Buffalo's playing really well. Toledo's 5-2. They've lost to 2 big-time teams. Ohio State's one of them. I can't remember the other one. But definitely not bad loss, whatever the other game was. Buffalo's 4-3, and I think they've won 4 in a row.
Yep.
Okay, this is a tough game. Buffalo's pretty good. Toledo's 7.5. Okay, I think they win. I don't know if they win by that biggest game. I think Buffalo's better than we think. So I kind of like that one. And the final one, this is really 2 doggy teams, but this one jumped out at me. Louisiana Monroe, maybe the worst team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely bottom 10 material every year. Goes to Army. And Army's 2-4, but they've lost to some pretty good teams. And they've scored a lot of points in some of these games they've lost. They're only a 6.5-point favorite over Louisiana Monroe. I think they beat them pretty bad. I mean, that one jumped out at me.
So Army's only wins have been against FCS schools. That's a problem.
Yes.
Coastal Carolina, though, they played within 10. UTSA, they played within 3.
Yeah.
They did have a bad loss to Georgia State, 31-14, and then they got smoked at Wake Forest. Yeah, I mean, you look at Louisiana Monroe, they're bad. I mean, this is 2 pretty bad teams. Let's face it. Louisiana Monroe has a win against an FCS school and then has a win over Louisiana.
Yeah.
So,
and Louisiana's down.
Yeah.
I just think with it being up at West Point, 6.5. If Army gets to rolling with that offense of theirs, I don't know.
Yes, it is bad not to beat any FBS schools, Kevin. Yeah, I like that one. I like your Buffalo one as well. I like both of those. I think with Buffalo, they, like I said, they've won 4 in a row. They lost 3 games to start the season. The only bad thing is they lost to Holy Cross. And I don't know how they did that. They're way better than that. So that's the only interesting thing about it.
It is.
Yeah.
And Toledo's played a really, Ohio State beat them. I mean, that one's, I just feel like that's going to be closer than 7.5. I just do. I think Toledo wins. The other one was San Diego State at San Diego State. So that's not a bad loss either.
This is going to be interesting. My mouse just died in the middle of the show. So, Kevin, your comment's going to stay up there for a minute because that's what my mouse charges. Oh, man. Yeah.
Can't use your finger?
No, I have no way to control it. So I'm on my big computer, so it'll charge. It's very quick to charge. If you want to go dumpster diving, James Madison -12 off a bounce back at home. Did you look at James Madison's game at all?
Who are they playing?
Well, I'd love to tell you, but my mouse died, and I have not looked at the James Madison game.
Got it. Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall's pretty bad.
Yeah. 12.5.
Yeah. 12.
12. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. about that one.
Okay.
I like these others a little bit better. I tell you, this game tonight, there's a sleeper game tonight. That Troy South Alabama game will be pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Be a really good game tonight. I
Yeah,
totally agree.
Sunbelt, we talk about James Madison, we talk about Appalachian State. We don't talk about Troy and South Alabama, and these teams are good.
They're very good.
That'll be a really
I think
good
5-1 versus 5-2 or something like that. They're both really good.
It'll be a really good game.
Be a good game. I think South Alabama might beat them tonight.
Yeah.
They're
Troy's played the tougher schedule,
yeah.
but South Alabama played UCLA at one point.
I was going to say South Alabama is the team that's played UCLA the closest.
Yeah. So
and Kevin says Troy will be a lot better or 10 times better than the NFL game. I think it's 100 times better.
Definitely. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Speaking of NFL, my mouse is alive and well. So we went to the NFL. We'll go to that Thursday night, this beautiful game between the Saints and the Cardinals tonight. Saints 2-4, Cardinals 2-4, Cardinals 2.5-point favorite. What's going to happen out on the desert tonight?
Who knows? We talked about it on the Daily Show. Who knows? The Cardinals are a dumpster fire. The Saints have been playing okay. You know, they've had a game or two they could have won and didn't.
Yeah.
So if I was going to bet this, I'd pick the Saints because the Cardinals can't win at home. And I don't think they have any motivation anyway. I don't think they care. So, you know, I picked Arizona, but why, I don't know. I mean, I just did on the money line, but I might go back in there and change it because I don't know. Will the Saints be motivated? I mean, both teams are 2-4. I mean, the Saints are in a horrible division that they could win if they got on a roll. But can they get on a roll? I don't know. And the Cardinals are they just look like they don't care.
They do.
I mean, they don't have any spark about
None.
it. It starts with the quarterback, and there's something going on. So,
yeah.
I don't know what it is. So, no, I have no interest in this game.
No, I don't either. I will take the Saints, but I am not betting this game. And just because there's an NFL game does not mean you have to bet it. So,
or you have to watch it.
Exactly. And this is a horrific game. So just don't worry about it. Don't worry about betting it. Dennis, you asked me a question. What do you think about the new morning line maker at Keeneland? A, B, C, D, F, what grade? You tell me first, and then I'll give you my answer. How about that? You tell me first. And then once you tell me, I'll tell you. Ultimate buy low spot. Jason says he's going to take the Cardinals. Can't get any lower. It can get lower if they lost to the Saints. It could get lower, right? At home. They scored 9 against Seattle last week. That is about the bottom of the freaking barrel.
Yeah.
Seattle can't stop anybody, and they got 9. The Cardinals got 9 points last week. It's embarrassing. All right, let's move on to some of these other ones. This is, again, the NFL is nearly impossible this year with all these teams that are just average. And we'll kick it off with the average 3-3 Falcons against the average 3-3 Bengals. It's in Cincinnati. The Bengals are a 6.5-point favorite. Falcons have covered every game so far this year. Yep. They are 6-0 against the spread. Will they make it 7-0?
Well, I'm going to argue with you a little bit. I think the Bengals are better than average. Their record's average for sure. 6.5, and the Falcons cover that? Yeah, I think so. I think the Bengals win, though.
I'm with you. Bengals win. Falcons cover. I think the Falcons will cover this game and go to 7-0 against the spread, which is really unbelievable. All right, let's keep it going. Lions 1-4 taking on the Cowboys 4-2. Cowboys are a 7-point favorite. The Lions are scoring points like crazy. They can't stop anybody, although they didn't score much last, 2 weeks ago against New England. Cowboys getting Dak back. Defense looks good. What do you think about the Cowboys?
So Dak is going to play. He's going to start?
Yes.
I'm going to take Dallas to cover.
I don't know how you don't. I think they cover this game. I think defensively they'll be able to slow down the Lions, and that's just that. And the Lions aren't going to slow down the Cowboys. We know that. So If the Lions cover, it'll be a shootout. I don't think it will be. I think Cowboys cover this one. All right, Colts 3-2-1. Somehow they have a winning record. They go on the road to take on the Titans 3-2. Somehow they have a winning record. Titans are a 2.5-point favorite in this spot. I think I know where you're going here.
I can't bet against the Titans in Nashville, so especially against the Colts. Although the Colts might be getting ready to get going, I don't know. A lot of people thought they were going to be good. Remember, Matt Ryan is new. He's not new, but he's new in Indy. Might take a while to get going, get that all meshed together. I can see Indy winning, but I'm going Tennessee to cover that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Tennessee covers it. Might be my lock. I do not have any confidence in the Colts. I think the Titans are just a little bit better. So -2.5 for the Titans. I will take that all day long. This is an interesting game.
Yes.
The Packers are a dumpster fire. They're now 3-3. They go on the road to take on the Commanders, who are a dumpster fire. However, the Packers are a 4.5-point favorite in this game. Is that attractive enough for you to take the Commanders?
Look at this, 4.5. Would you have bet that at the start of the year that Green Bay would only be a 4.5-point favorite going in there? Not me.
No.
Look at the over-under.
41.5.
With Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback on one side of the field. I think I'll take the under. God, if they don't win this game, they're in trouble. I can't bet against Green Bay to not win because it's Washington.
Yeah. And
they're not very good. The Bears thumped them last week, even though they didn't win.
Yeah.
4.5. Say they win that game by less than that. What's that prove? That doesn't prove anything, does it?
No. I mean, I'm taking the Packers.
Me too.
Because I'm not betting this game. No. But the Packers are a better team than Washington, period.
Yep. Yes.
They've got to, like Jason, you just said, you took the words right out of my mouth. They have to cover this.
They have to cover.
They have to show life in this game.
Yep. And you can say the same.
If they lose, there may be some heads flying.
Yeah. And you can say the same thing about the next team.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Because we're both. Well, are you taking the Packers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Buccaneers 11-point favorites on the road against the Panthers. Here we go again. Buccaneers, big favorite, team they should beat.
The difference is it's 11 and not 4.5. That's one difference.
Yeah.
And Washington is better than Carolina. I think this is the worst team in the league.
They are.
The worst offensive team.
Yeah.
Their poor defense. I feel sorry for them. But they couldn't beat Pittsburgh last week.
I know.
They couldn't. That before then was the worst team in the league, even worse than Carolina, I think we all agreed.
Yeah.
I don't think they cover. I think they're going to win. I don't think they'll cover it.
This is another one I don't want to bet. I don't want anything to do with it. I think Tampa is close to being abysmal. Like, I think I've said it all year. Huh?
Just like the Panthers. I think Tampa's close.
I don't think they're – well, I think Tom Brady is about the only difference.
Yeah. Because Carolina's got a good defense, and so is Tampa. Tampa's defense is good.
Yeah.
Their offense just doesn't have anybody besides him. And the offensive line is beat to a pulp, and he doesn't have time to do anything. So, I don't know. I think they win because Carolina is so bad. But I said the same thing last week against Pittsburgh, and it didn't happen. So, that's why I'm not taking them with the points. No way. It's too many.
Yeah, I can't get myself to say I'm taking the Panthers either. So
no, I can't bet the Panthers. So
no,
adios game. I'm not paying any attention to it.
If you bet this game, you might have serious gambling problems. So thanks for coming to the website and keep sticking here because we all do. All right, let's move on to the next one: the Giants and the Jaguars. How about this? Giants are 5-1, having a great season. Jaguars have looked abysmal the last few weeks.
What?
2-4, and they're a 3-point favorite in this game.
I've looked at this 20 times. I thought it was a misprint. I keep thinking, what? Who was it? Said you stay away from shady lines. This one is a weird line. Yeah, shady line it is, no doubt.
Begging you to take the Giants.
They are begging you, and you know what? This thing hasn't moved. It opened at this, and it stayed at this. So, what is going on? Why hasn't it moved? I don't know.
I'm totally with everybody. It makes no sense. I'm taking Jacksonville because it makes no sense. And Kevin's right. There's going to be 80+% of the money is going to be on the Giants. It has to be on the Giants. Vegas knows. I'm taking the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they'll win by double digits.
Okay. I agree with all of you. But how the hell do they know?
I don't know.
How do they know? What is it about this game that would make them think that, you know?
You take it for face value. Let's say this game was a pick 'em or Giants -1.5. I don't think the Giants should be a strong favorite.
No,
right?
But maybe 3. Maybe that way.
You'd probably think, yeah, Giants, they'll be pretty tough. But this is just such a weird line.
No, and I mean, it's like they think this is a toss-up game. And Jacksonville's 3 points because it's there.
Yeah.
Jacksonville. The Giants are pretty good.
Yeah.
They've proven it. And they're I don't get it. I'm like all the rest of you. I mean, I guess I won't bet it, but I just can't. Unless the Giants are just flat, I think they win.
They should.
I don't know.
They should win, but yeah, something's up there, and I'm not taking that. Yeah. Staying away. All right. Browns and the Ravens. Baltimore 6.5-point favorite. How will Baltimore find a way to blow this one? It's in Baltimore. The Browns are just, a comedy of errors.
Yep.
It feels like this season is getting ready to almost tank, and I think it would be completely tanking if they didn't have hope that their quarterback will be coming back eventually. What do you think? The Ravens only is, and I say only because it feels like the Ravens should win by a couple touchdowns, but what do you think?
Well, I think this all depends on the Browns, what their attitude is, how hard they're going to play. You know, this could be a game where they come out, they don't like the Ravens. They could come out and play the best game they've played all year. And I don't know if they're good enough to beat them. But I don't like the Ravens at all. I picked the Giants last week. I'm not a Ravens. They don't win games they should win. You know, I don't think we get on them enough. So I'm going to take the Browns plus 6.5. Stupid, I know. But I just think they may come out and play very well. And the Ravens, I don't like them. So I don't think they're that good.
I hate this game. I don't hate it as much as this next one, though. The New York Jets at 4-2 go on the road to play maybe the weirdest human being in the world, Russell Wilson led Denver Broncos. Denver's 2-4. It is a nightmare in Denver. However, Denver is a 1.5-point favorite. What do you do with this?
Well, it's because people are not on the Jets bandwagon. They don't think they're as good as what they've shown.
Well, how about the Giants go to Jacksonville? The Giants are 5-1 and an underdog, and then the Jets are 4-2 and go to Denver and they're an underdog. Crazy.
I don't understand it really. I understand this one a little bit more, I think, than the other one. I don't know. I can't bet the Broncos. I just can't. The over-under, look at that, 38. That's pathetic. If they win, it's going to be 12-9. So if you like the Broncos, bet the under along with it. I don't know.
Kevin, I did see the new Subway commercial. It's like
I'm not
cringe-worthy from this. This Russell Wilson is the weirdest human being ever.
Oh, he's on a Subway.
Oh, they're on Twitter. You got to go look. Oh,
okay, I haven't had time to be on there today. I'll YouTube it. It'll be on YouTube.
Well, you've been at Manny's with your car, so it's understood.
I've been busy, so.
Would you rather have a beer with Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers?
I would quit drinking. I wouldn't have a beer with Aaron Rodgers unless I could pour it all over him.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers would kill me and eat me after we have the beer. So I will go Aaron Rodgers. All right, we got to move on. We've only got 10 minutes left. Magic Mike show coming up in 10 minutes, and we've got 4 games. We'll wrap
You're
it
the boss. I'll piss on him. Go ahead.
Well, I don't want to. No, I don't want
I got you.
2 shows at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm a man of the people. I don't want people to have to cheat.
I understand.
All right, Texans.
Let's skip that one.
Texans and the Raiders. I'm gonna lie. I think the Raiders are a good play in this one.
Should be.
They're a 7-point favorite against the Texans. I think Texans are horrible. I think the Raiders are a lot better than that 1-4 record. What do you
I
think?
agree with you totally.
Okay.
I agree.
Let's go on to this one. God,
Oh, God.
go again. Chargers. There's so many NFL teams. I see their name and I'm like, oh, this will be a circus. So the Seahawks are 3-3. They're better than what anybody thought they would be. They totally pulled the wool over everybody's eyes on the Russell Wilson thing and made a great trade. But they're 5.5-point underdogs in Los Angeles against the Chargers. What do you think is going to happen here?
Who knows? I'm going to take the Chargers are so much better than these teams. They were so lucky to win the other night.
They should have lost.
It was pathetic. I'm going Seattle plus 5.5. I think the Chargers win, but I'm going to go Seattle plus 5.5.
What do you think, Darby? Darby says Seattle. She says the Seahawks are going to win this game. She's going with Seattle. Me too. I'm going Seattle plus the 5.5. I'll take points anytime they play the Chargers.
Yeah.
This is just nuts. All right. This line is iffy too.
Yeah.
The Chiefs go on the road to take on the 49ers. The Chiefs are only a 2.5-point favorite, even though the 49ers have just looked abysmal at times this year. What do you think about this game?
Well, again, we got injuries we're dealing with the Niners. That's went down, by the way. It was 3. And now it's 2.5. So there's some money coming in on the Niners.
Yep.
I looked at the injury report a while ago, and there's nothing definite about Bosa and Armstead. And Trent Williams, an offensive tackle, who's the best in the league, is also hurt. So they've got massive injury problems. If their defense plays, you might take a shot on the Niners in this game. You know, if all those guys, if Bosa plays, he can put enough heat on Mahomes. Again, the Chiefs should win, I think.
It's funny. I'm glad that Dennis caught that. Darby is named after Darby Allen, and he lives in Seattle. So
there you go.
I don't know if Seattle or just Washington State in general. So it's kind of funny. Yeah. Glad you caught that, Dennis. Yeah, she jumped up on my desk right when we talked about Seattle.
Yeah.
I'm going 49ers. Or no, I'm going Chiefs. I'm sorry. I'm going Chiefs minus 2.5. Niners, too many injuries.
Yep.
All right. Steelers go on the road to take on the Dolphins. Dolphins are 7-point favorites. I can't believe this is the Sunday night game.
Ain't that a good one? Isn't that a good game? Man.
I can't believe it. But, Miami, a 7-point favorite. Tua is going to play as of now. I guess they're going to win, right?
Well, you would think.
I think they will, but I don't know.
I mean,
I'm going to take Miami, but I'm not.
No, he's coming back from a concussion, not an ankle injury or knee injury or shoulder injury. So, you would have to think his body's healthy, maybe not his head, but right. I don't think he would play if he couldn't. I think they cover. I think they bust out of it and get back on the winning track.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they're just going to win pretty easily, honestly. I like Miami in this game a lot, but we'll see. Mr. Trubisky versus Tua. I mean, I don't know. All right, do you want to talk about this? We'll talk about this one 1 second here. The Bears go on the road to take on the Patriots Monday night. We'll cover this one on the Monday night show as well. Patriots 7.5-point favorite. The Bears, my God, they just are. I don't know how they're going to score in this. I mean,
no, neither. This is a wonderful Monday night matchup. Something to really be looking forward to.
Awful.
It is. The Patriots quietly have played very well the last 2 weeks. 7.5-point favorites. They should cover that. And I've 3 in a row, and we covered this on Monday. Their schedule's not too hard. They got a shot to get on a roll.
I think the NFL is just kind of saying, hey, we're going to throw any game out there and let's see if these people watch it. And we've been doing it. We've been watching it. We got to stop.
Yes, we do.
I think the Patriots win this game. I feel like the Patriots again, it's just like last year. It's like, here they come. Like, I don't know how, but they're decent again. I think they'll take care of business.
I think so too.
All right, that's it for the games. Dennis had the first question. I'll answer it. He's asking about the new morning line maker at Keeneland. He gives him a D-.
He's tough.
That's probably accurate, Dennis. I would say it's not. It has not gone well so far. I don't know who's making the morning line for the Breeders' Cup. I'm a little scared if it's the same guy that's making these morning lines. I'd say D-, Dennis. I think that's good. Well said. Well said. All right. Well, we've got 4 minutes. So what do you got for me?
4 minutes.
Yep.
By the way, I went to get my car.
Same guy's doing it. Not good. Okay, go ahead.
I went to get the truck.
Yes.
And I had to have wiper blades, but the ones he quoted me wouldn't fit the truck.
Uh-huh.
So I had to get more expensive wiper blades. A little upset with Manny over that, just a little bit. Anyway.
Well, see, you bragged on Manny too much.
Well, he apologized over and over and over again.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. I was a little upset with it, but anyway. I don't know. What we got now? 3 minutes?
We have now still almost 3 minutes. Yes.
All right. We've been doing favorites, and they've been really good, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Favorite dessert.
Favorite dessert.
Favorite dessert.
Mm.
The dessert you would pick first. And there's a lot of desserts.
Gosh, that's a tough one. I'm not like a big dessert guy. I like coffee, really. I would say cheesecake for me.
Right up there at the top.
That'd be number one.
Cheesecake. And I like cheesecake whether it's got anything on top of it or not.
Agree. Yep.
I like plain cheesecake just as good as blueberries on top or strawberries or raspberries or whatever.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I don't need the fancy toppings. No. I'm a pie person too.
Now, I'm not a cake person. Yeah, chocolate cake's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, cake's okay, but I'll take apple pie, any kind of pie, over a cake. I'm just not a cake person.
Yeah.
So.
What do you think of Oreos?
No.
You don't like Oreos?
I don't. I like them, but not in milk. No.
Okay.
I just don't. I just don't. I do like a lot of different cookies. My favorite cookie is that it's EL fudge and it's double stuffed. It's got chocolate and it's real thick in between two wafers.
Yeah.
I got some right here. I have to hide them from Sandy or she'll eat all my cookies.
Oh.
These right
here. Oh, yes, I've had those.
Oh, yeah. God. Yeah. I got to hide them from her. But, yeah, I like pudding, too. I'm a pudding.
Yeah. I don't like pudding.
What's your favorite ice cream?
Favorite ice cream?
Yeah, flavor. Are you real plain like I am?
Strawberry. Yeah, I'm very plain.
Like if you go to Brahms or you go to Baskin Robbins or where they've got all these flavors, are you kind of looking at them and saying, I don't really need those?
Yeah, I go strawberry. Yeah.
Yeah, I usually go chocolate.
Yeah, well, no, that is really, well, I guess they're both about the same as far as.
I'll venture off the path every once in a while and get something.
Yeah.
I do like caramel, anything with caramel in it.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
What did, was it Kevin? Vanilla and orange twist soft serve only. Okay.
Yeah.
Vanilla and orange. Okay. And I don't think I've ever had that.
I've had it once. It was pretty good. I don't know why I never had it again, actually.
Yeah.
I've had it one time in New York, a little place had it. Yeah.
And I like to go get ice cream. And I'll tell you another thing. I don't like waffle cones.
Really? I do.
No, they come apart too easy and the ice cream falls out and I get it all over me when I'm driving.
Who did we officially pick? We talked about that just a minute ago, Mike. Did we pick Troy or did you pick? I know who I have. Did you pick Troy or South Alabama?
I'm going with the home team. So I'm going with South Alabama and I think it's going to be a tremendous game.
Yeah, Mike, we're on the same team. I picked South Alabama tonight as well. I think they're going to get it done, but it's going to be a good one. But I would take South Alabama in that game.
Huge game.
Probably, it's definitely the best football game tonight. Here's an ice cream Aaron might know. Stewart's crumbs along the Mohawk.
What is that?
Mohawk.
Give us
that sounds really familiar. I don't think I've had it. I think maybe Heather got that once.
What is it?
I can't remember. That sounds really familiar, Jason. I know maybe it's because I've seen it in Stewart's. Stewart's is like a convenience store / ice cream shop in upstate New York. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe not eat a waffle cone while driving. That's true.
Well, usually here we go, Slim. Listen, we're not sophisticated like you. We just go through the drive-through and get an ice cream cone. Okay.
I have had the Stewart's Faro flavor.
What's it taste like?
It's like I don't know. It's hard to describe. Stewart's has 2 or 3 nationally award-winning ice creams. That is one, I think. I did not know that. Wow.
Do you like cantaloupe?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all.
So you mean you people never eat an ice cream cone while you're driving?
I've had an ice cream cone while I'm driving.
Yeah.
I've had Adirondack Bear Paw.
My goodness, this is quite a place.
Stewart's is a cool place. I mean, if you live in upstate New York, you probably don't care. But when I visit, I always go to Stewart's.
Well,
I
anyway,
get gas at Stewart's. I can get some groceries at Stewart's, and I can get ice cream.
Well, the reason why I mentioned the cantaloupe, there's a place in Daytona Beach that had cantaloupe ice cream. And it was great if you like cantaloupe.
I can't imagine that.
I didn't either. I'd never seen it before.
All right.
If you want to have a show, you and me get together and we can just start firing off shit.
I feel like we're going to change this show just to the random thoughts hour. I feel like that'd be good. All right. It looks like they're going live on Magic Mike right now. They have one viewer, so we're going to need to get off so they can get some more. I just went to the YouTube page to have one person watching.
We've got all their viewers.
I don't think we have them all, but I don't think they're interested in what they're doing. So
who cares about the Keeneland pick 5? Who gives a shit?
Here's the deal. You do need to go to Saratoga. You can meet Slim. You can meet Jason. I
agree.
Meet Sylvain. Usually he's there.
Stream doesn't. I'm wearing the Expos shirt today.
Yeah, you've got the Sylvain Expos shirt. Let's see. What else can you do?
I don't care about that. I don't care about that.
Slimmy, we can take him to Morton's. Man, he would really think he's uptown at Morton's.
Yes, I'm very, very intimidated by places.
Well, you would be intimidated by Morton's for sure. Or Sperry's or Salt and Char.
These places scare me to death. I'm intimidated going in like Texas Roadhouse or
oh my god.
Yeah. Those places intimidate me a little bit. Nothing fancy for me.
Okay, yeah, that's right. We can eat with
yeah.
Okay, Jason, he can handle the trackside grill. That's for sure.
Maybe. Somebody'd have to show me around and doing some, I get intimidated by places. I don't understand what's on the menu sometimes,
Any interest in going to the harness track?
No. None.
Magic's getting mad because we're still on the air while they are.
Oh shit, Magic. I haven't seen you in a while,
Ooh, the old Brian Inn, yeah.
The old Brian Inn. What's that? It's
a good place to eat. It's not intimidating, I'd put it that way.
Okay.
Go away, Magic. We're talking ice cream.
You're talking pick 5 at Keeneland, I think you're gonna hit it.
We won't come to the show if you get snippy, Magic.
Don't mess with us. Oh, that's funny.
I love it. Yeah, let's just stay on the whole time.
Oh, that would be hilarious, wouldn't it?
Let's see what they're up to here. Up to 7.
Oh,
I can get All right. One last story about Magic. He says ice cream gives me the runs like Justify. So Del Mar gives out free ice cream to the press, right? So
good.
We went up there and it's free ice cream and we were eating it. And man, it's good. And he's sick all night long. He's sick. I was like, what's the matter with you? He's lactose intolerant. And he ate like 8 bowls of ice cream.
And he's lactose intolerant.
I said, why'd you do that? Why would you do that? You know,
you knew it was going to make you sick. Sandy does the same thing.
Well, okay. I'd love to stay on, but you know, he's getting the runs like a Richard Striker. Nice. All right, we gotta go.
Oh gosh.
Nice. All right, we gotta go. All right. So,
notice Slim is following us and not the horse racing.
Right. Yeah, because he doesn't care.
Slim, you having your show tonight?
Yeah, Slim. Are you doing your show tonight? I don't even know if you're doing it or not.
I wouldn't blame you because you'd have to sit through half of the other one of the ball game.
I don't blame you either.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go. We're out of here. Yeah, runs like 'tis a magician. That's right. No, he was like Justify that night. So, all right, boys and girls, we're getting out of here. It's been fun. It's been real. Hadn't been real fun, but we will try again on Monday to achieve that goal. And go watch Magic Mike. They're live right now, and they're having some fun. And let's see, they're up to 7 viewers, so they're doing well. And yes, halftime show is going to happen. Slim says.
All right.
We'll see you guys on Monday for this show. Everybody have a good weekend. Good luck with all your bets, and that's it. That's all we got.
This is Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports. It's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports. Time to change your approach with Aaron Halterman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.